Bank of America says don't expect GTA 6.
That pretty picture is gonna get you hacked.
And AMD hacking the way to the top by dunking on Intel. I'm excited for Strix Point. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're gonna be going over the hottest tech news I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Friday, December 8th,
Kyle.
2023. We're gonna start off today with the most ridiculous headline that I've seen in quite some time. Bank of America analysts indicate that they think that Rockstar's not gonna release GTA 6 during the time that they said that they're going to.
They'd know.
They would. They believe that based on the trailer that Rockstar showed off, despite the fact that previous Rockstar game developers have constantly said this actually looks like it's pretty far along, Bank of America feels that it's not even ready for pre-alpha testing. The people aren't playing this game enough, and it likely is going to slip past the 2025 release date.
Be real?
Yes.
I agree with Bank of America on this one. I don't know what they're grounding this in. Where did they say this?
I don't know. This feels
What?
like the Dave Chappelle bit where he talks about how everybody's looking for Ja Rule. Where's Ja Rule's opinion on this? Where's Ja?
I want some answers that Ja Rule might not have right now.
That's it.
Did they tweet it?
No, this is in like a Bank of America analysis of Take-Two Entertainment and Rockstar and like the viability of their stock. So like there are people who are supposed to analyze what's going on, but at the same time, they are not game developers, and a lot of people I've listened to seem to think that Rockstar is actually pretty well ahead on this, and that the trailer that we got for GTA 6 is all in-game rendered, is all gonna be, like the game is actually gonna look like that, and they're pretty far along to even show off what they did.
I'm siding with Bank of America on this one. Who's with me, guys?
Haven't heard that since before the 2008 financial crisis. And I haven't heard of this in quite some time. Do you want to have a 24-core Mini ITX setup for less than $600? Because that's exactly what Minisforum is launching, their AR900i ITX motherboard setup. Now this is the i9-13900HX. So this is a laptop processor that they've put on a mini setup, but it comes with that CPU with 24 cores, 32 threads. It comes with a motherboard, which is capable of a whole lot, and it comes with a cooler as well.
Am I seeing laptop memory DIMM slots?
Yes, so it is a laptop chip, and it comes with SODIMM slots, but it also has a lot of other features, like a full PCI Express 5.0 GPU slot. Yes, the SODIMM connector, so you have to use laptop RAM, but you can get that, you know,
I just find it interesting.
Yeah, but also 4 M.2 slots.
Ooh!
You can actually kit this thing out to be a very viable Mini ITX PC, and especially with the price point that they have it at on their website. I know this feels like a sponsored bit. We don't work with Minisforum at all. This is actually a really great price if you need a lot of cores that aren't necessarily as fast or as capable as the desktop versions. Let's say you do need something that uses a whole lot of cores, but you're just trying to do it as cheaply as possible for $560. That is a great dollar per core value.
It is also like super low profile in terms of cooling.
Yes.
If you want to build something super small form factor, this looks like a really good route to go.
Yeah. So the only downside that I can really see is that it has very limited I/O. It's got USB 4, not Thunderbolt 4, which is a bummer.
There's plenty there.
There's enough. I wouldn't consider that plenty, especially compared to some other Mini ITX motherboards that I've seen. Additionally, the cooler that's on this is rated for up to 100 watts cooling capacity, but the chip is running at a 55 watt TDP, so it's not the most performant setup. Again, this is low profile, low form factor, tons of cores in a tight space for a cheap amount. I'm excited and intrigued by it.
Kyler is too. And I'm also intrigued by this merch.
You want to do the sponsor spot? I'll let you do it. This is your thing.
This is our sponsor spot?
This is our sponsor spot, and also this merch is based around you.
Guys, please, I've been called categorically unvibeable way too many times on the internet, and we don't have a sponsor, and I need you to buy these shirts. Otherwise,
one of our community members said that if we sold 1,000 of these, you could wear it every day on Hot News for a month.
I'll do that.
If we sell 1,000.
If we sell 1,000. And if we sell 1,001, maybe.
We'll wear the same one.
Feel like it.
We'll do like that, like sibling shirt.
I was saying I'd get the tattoo.
You'd get that as a tattoo?
Yeah, if we sold 1,000 of these, I'd get a tattoo.
1,001.
1,001 of these, I think I would have no problems getting a tattoo of that.
You heard it here first. We just have to sell about 995 more.
Buy them up, fellas.
Well, we could inject that image onto your bootloader and then hack your computer.
My feet?
Where does that come from?
Boot.
Bootloader. Okay, wow. I was not expecting that. There's a new vulnerability that's out there that can compromise all Windows and Linux machines, no exceptions. This is actually pretty devastating, and it's called LogoFAIL because it can actually hack the logo that comes out before you can log into your system. This is part of the UEFI vulnerability that's out there, and turns out this was a security research firm that found all of this out and disclosed it in a paper to everybody. All motherboard firmware makers, all AMD, Intel CPU makers, x86, ARM, doesn't matter. If you're making these and you're part of the UEFI system, you can have an image injected into the logo, like when you boot up, like on an MSI motherboard, it'll show you the MSI logo. Or if you buy a computer from like Lenovo, it'll show you that. And that is where the vulnerability comes in, because it can actually be injected in multiple ways. Because this is happening at a very sensitive part of the boot process known as DXE, or driver execution environment. And Binarly, which is the company that actually disclosed all of this, showed how simple it actually is to get this done. Either if you have direct local access, you only have to run a very quick script, and then they are in your bootloader and you're vulnerable, and they take everything from your memory and from your storage, and they have access to it all. Or additionally, it can happen during you being on the internet. If there's a browser vulnerability, they could do that there too.
So they're hiding it in the file for the logo.
Correct.
In the boot sequence.
Yes, because there are tons of vulnerabilities there that just we have not exploited yet.
Wow.
Yes. So most companies are aware of this. A lot of them say that they're working on it. And if you see a logo, I mean, they could just inject the right logo and you have no idea. This is
So what the idea is to look out for a logo that seems fishy? Like, will it alter the image?
It doesn't have to, right? It can just upload the same image.
Yeah, but say MSI has like a different image that boots for your specific laptop or something, and you happen to notice that it used to be red and now it's silver.
That would
cause
be
for concern?
Yes, absolutely. If the images are changing before your eyes, cause for concern. Also, if the lamp starts to get blurry, that's also cause for concern.
The lamp gets blurry? Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've been seeing the TikToks about, yeah.
And it also appears to be cause for concern over at Tesla that they are not ready to launch their next generation supercomputer known as Dojo 2. So much so that the head of the supercomputer division at Tesla is out of the company, allegedly being laid off because of delays that have happened with the Dojo supercomputer hardware. The fact that he's gone is true, so it does appear like maybe Tesla is biting off more than that they can chew with regards to the hardware that they're doing in order to compute all of the self-driving that they're trying to do. Well, just like the head of supercomputers is out, you're out. Reece is in.
Yo, welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals out on the internet. And hey, it's Friday and I've got some deals to tide you over for the weekend. Starting off with this Fantex Universal Extension Cable Kit, available in black for only $6.99, making it $23 off, and the perfect way to clean up your build. But then we also have this ASRock B450 MHDV AM4 motherboard, which at $59.99, I think it's the cheapest AM4 motherboard you can currently get. But then we have the Anchormake M5C 3D printer for only $319, which makes it $80 off for honestly one of the fastest 3D printers I've ever seen. And then last but certainly not least, we have something cool to check out thanks to our friends and channel sponsors Jawa with this build from Steam Builds. Featuring a Ryzen 5 3600, 16 gigs of DDR4, a 1TB SSD, and an RTX 3060 12 gig. This will make the perfect 1080p build for only $650 over on the website. But don't forget, if you use code UFD10 at checkout, you'll get an additional $10 off your first purchase. And hey, who doesn't like an extra $10 off? And with that, the deals are done. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below. But for those of you in South Africa, I will see you at Rage this weekend. For everyone else, I'm gonna hand you back to Brett and Kyla for the rest of your hot news. Cheers.
Well, Reece, we've been talking about the bad deal that is the RTX 4090D. It's a cut down version of the RTX 4090 being sold at the same price to China because they can't have the full-fledged power that can be used for things like AI compute. But we got more details coming out, like the fact that not only is it undercut, but you can't overclock it either to make it full powered.
Boo!
It's also going to have a lower TDP of 425 watts. It's going to have fewer CUDA cores, allegedly on a completely different die. Going to come out next year to the Chinese market.
So what happens if you try to overclock it?
You can't.
It just...
Have you ever tried to overclock a chip that can't be overclocked before?
No.
It's just all locked down. Typically, there might be ways to do it like with very specific hardware. Like I've seen people overclock by soldering some connections and then
yeah, just do that.
Using like some sort of external clock regulator. It's possible. I think this is mostly on the firmware and software side that you can't get it done. Oh, but NVIDIA is not just going to stop there. Not only is the 4090D going to come out to subvert the AI sanctions that the US has put out, but they're also launching a new RTX 5880. This is a new GPU they're launching to replace the RTX 6000.
Say the whole thing, because it's hard. I'm hearing it in my head. 5880 ADA.
Oh, yeah. RTX 5880 ADA.
And we thought Tisiper was bad.
Yeah, actually. NVIDIA launching the Ti Super, the 5880. This is allegedly going to be a cut-down version of the RTX 6000, and again, in order to subvert the sanctions that the US has placed on their chips. And Google yesterday tried to subvert OpenAI with ChatGPT by launching their own Gemini AI that was supposedly faster, and just like with the launch of Bard, how they showed off that it got some facts wrong, even in their own presentation.
They flubbed Bard.
They also flubbed Gemini. Turns out that a lot of people are extremely disappointed. Now, this is a compilation of a lot of different generic failures that Gemini appears to be having, but it's even with like basic facts, like who won 2023's Oscar Best Actor.
But it can tell me how to knit.
It really
what I can
can't.
knit, potentially.
It also answered things wrong with regards to who won other Oscars, or even just asking it to share a 6-letter word in French. It comes up with 5-letter words or 7-letter words. It just can't do 6 for some reason.
I can't imagine it's very good at math then either.
Well, we got that in the benchmark. It can only answer 56% of questions right with math. Additionally, it is bad at coding as well. It turns out that this is, at least at the current moment, not where Google was kind of indicating where it is, or just finding the vulnerabilities in the system.
The vulnerabilities being can't read numbers.
I can't read numbers either.
I can't read.
That explains a lot. But just like Google tried to subvert OpenAI, AMD is looking to subvert Intel because they had an announcement yesterday. They had a whole AI showcase, which was basically a pat on the backathon for AMD, where they just had industry partners coming around being like, "Atta boy, you guys are great. We love all the stuff you're doing with AI." But we did get some disclosure with regards to the upcoming APUs that are coming out. So we got some details on Hawk Point, which is going to replace the current 7840U. It's going to be the 8840U. Additionally, it's going to be much faster at AI. It's gonna have a faster AI.
Yay.
That's the main thing. Not much else is changing. It's gonna have the 780M graphics as well as the same core count and clock speed, but it's gonna have 16 NPU tops as opposed to 10 NPU tops. So it's 1.6 times faster than the previous generation. That's the main change from last year to this year. In AI exclusively, basically. But the big thing that AMD talked about was their next-gen Strix point, which is also supposed to be coming out in 2024. We've discussed this at length before. This thing is supposed to have 16 compute units of RDNA 3.5 graphics. This thing is supposed to be a monster APU, with them also unveiling that it's going to be a monster AI chip as well, coming in with XDNA 2 AI, not graphics, performance, XDNA 2 goodness.
That all sounds great, but there's so many words for things. Why'd they have to go with Strix, a word already associated with a different tech thing?
Who also starts with the letter A. Asus, AMD,
Why?
Strix.
Why is it so hard to name things?
It's a location. It's Strix Point.
I don't care.
Hawk Point. I'm just telling you why.
Confusing.
Raptor Lake. Like, it's just...
That's a cool name. Raptor Lake is a very cool name.
It is. Yeah, Rocket Lake, Comet Lake.
Yeah,
Alder Lake was kind of mid.
The lake thing is fun. Nobody else does it. Strix. Who else? Who else will Strix next?
Well, the XDNA 2 on Strix Point is going to be 3 times as much generative AI performance, and we're also expecting 2 to 3 times as much in the graphics side of things, and AMD making sure that you know that their 8000 gen mobile chips can beat out the current 13th gen mobile chips from Intel, beating them in gaming, in content creation, in multi-threaded performance, beating them in AI, but obviously we are less than a week away from Intel launching their Meteor Lake setup, which has dedicated AI cores as well, and is likely going to be a little bit more competitive than what AMD is showing here. So Meteor Lake launching on December 14th. Stay tuned for that. I'm excited for Strix Point. I want that to come out. I love APUs. They're like my favorite little sub-brand of processors. They're so cute.
I'm excited to see you be excited about it.
I'm gonna. A Legion Go 2 with a Strix Point APU, I will lose my mind. I'll be so happy. Because you know what? Valve's not gonna put it in the Steam Deck. They're not gonna do it.
No. But I want to see throwing all this AI junk into processors now is going to be like, you remember whenever a bunch of phones had IR sensors? Is it going to like die
You mean
out?
the IR blasters.
Sorry.
They blasted.
They blasted the TV's sense.
Yes. I'm actually kind of disappointed we still don't have that. Like,
No,
it was so cool.
I really enjoyed
It was helpful.
that. I really liked that. The fact that I could just control any television with my Galaxy.
Your Galaxy S4? Yep.
It was a 5.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
5.
Well, I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to let us know of a modern phone that still has an IR blaster. I want to hear from that.
My Pixel almost had one.
It's got a thermometer now. It's great. Let's get into the comment response. Jeffrey saying, I guess I fall in the 45 to death category. I'm enjoying having Kyler as your co-host. What other people may see as awkward is just the two of you building your own thing together. I enjoy having a healthy breakfast every day. Thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey. But then we also got Zachary saying, as a 30-year-old driving a Baja, your content is hitting the mark for me. Watching your show on the way to work energizes my morning. And then I had to find out what year and color is your Baja. Turns out BC has a light teal Baja. Didn't disclose the year. But then Zachary says has a red 05 manual. The red color is beautiful.
And the manual. Mine is an 05 gray automatic.
Turbo,
but it's
though.
a turbo.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's great.
It has no catalytic converter.
He did not have this thing since it was a baby.
No.
He adopted it.
I adopted it.
With no cat converter. Kyler wanted a Baja for so long. Like, that was your dream car when you moved here. It was an 06 yellow Baja.
Yeah.
We settled with what we could
I
find.
also wanted a manual.
The day you drove in to work with the Baja.
Oh, so excited.
It's beautiful. I was so happy for him. I'm proud of you, son. But while we do comment response, I'm going to throw a little news article in here. YouTube is rolling out the ability for creators to pause video comments, which I think I'm going to do on our PlayStation Portal video. Not because I don't stand by the video, but because commenters on that video they're not nice. They're very unkind people. Instead of having an honest, truthful debate about things, I'm not gonna go there. Anyways, I'm not gonna do it anyways. I'm just gonna not read them. But YouTube allowing creators to pause instead of moderate so that they can take a break if it becomes overwhelming without having to turn them off completely.
Yeah, but I feel like it's still gonna say creator has paused comments on this video and everybody's gonna be like, blah, 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 you know?
Yeah, it will. It will say comments are paused.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not pausing comment response. We're going back into it. Actually, we did pause it, and now we're unpausing it.
Yeah.
Aiden saying, you will own no RAM and be happy about it. And then
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
CA James said, I found the Canadian. I didn't understand this little exchange.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. I'm confused. Exomancer saying, Kyle, the Subaru Baja has already been resurrected. It's called the Ford Maverick, and it starts at the low price of $23,000. Really, also available in hybrid.
I am well aware of the Ford Maverick.
We are so aware of the Ford Maverick.
I really want a Ford Maverick, but if you think you can actually find one for $23,000,
we've been looking for over a year.
Wild.
Additionally, it's not the resurrection of a Baja. It's a truck first. It's like the Baja is not a truck first. The Baja is an Outback first.
Yeah, but also I do believe the Maverick was a truck in like the 80s that Ford made.
Okay.
And I'm basing this on purely anecdotal evidence.
So nobody correct him.
Yeah, do not correct me, but I'm pretty sure when I mentioned a Ford Maverick to my dad, he said, oh, one of those old things. So I think it was an old truck.
But the real resurrection of the Maverick is the Hyundai Santa Cruz.
You mean Baja?
Yes, the Hyundai Baja. That is correct.
The Santa Cruz.
Oh, wait. Oh, I said
Santa
Maverick.
Cruz is the most Baja-like vehicle.
Gaming Screen saying, after the last update, my 7900 XTX still draws 90 to 100 watts at idle. I use 4 1440p monitors. Maybe that's the problem. Or they only fixed the problem for each specific monitor refresh rate and resolution scenarios. I don't know. I'm sorry that it doesn't work for you. A lot of people have reported that it did make a lot of things better for them, especially It's Dion saying the new AMD driver is working well so far. Also, some of my favorite streamers are South Korean Twitch streamers. This sucks, and I hope they can find a new home to stream. I mean, Twitch did say that they're going to be working with the creators to switch over to the likes of YouTube or Kick, Facebook gaming even, maybe even Twitter.
TikTok,
stream on TikTok. Celsato said, I actually effing gasped when he took off the hat and glasses. He is categorically unvibeable by choice. By choice.
Is that what the hat and glasses does?
Yeah.
Then I will keep being it.
Jazzawaza says, Doom 2016 was the last good single-player game released. Everything else has been an unfinished, buggy mess. Enough said, no excitement for anything single-player. Doom 2016? You think for the last 7 years, there's been no good...
Bug-free.
Doom 2016 was a bug-free.
Name one bug.
The one where you shot and it didn't work the right way.
Frick.
Gotcha. Or the game broke. Crashed on you. Or Linus actually documented that despite the fact that it ran in Vulkan, his Riva tuner set, no, his Fraps setup could actually hook into Vulkan, which didn't make any sense because that's physically impossible. The computer code doesn't allow it. So that's a bug. Shouldn't have worked with Fraps. Rip Fraps.
Did anybody find any glitches in God of War Ragnarok?
So I'm pretty sure, based on his opinion, console games just do not exist in. That's my guess. Not a real thing. You just brought up a fake game.
Okay. Hold on. Guys, prove them wrong.
Then Fiddler says, when Brett and Reece are together, Reece is the straight man. When Kyler and Brett are together, Brett is the straight man. I noticed that.
Yeah.
It's weird how like your personality is perceived based on those who you're surrounded by.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're the chaotic one. But I'm chaotic for Reece.
Yeah.
You have a really long mustache hair right there. That's just like, can I yank it?
Please don't. It hurts so bad.
It'll hurt so bad to not see you all over the weekend, but we'll be back on Monday for more of the hottest tech news.
I'm gonna brush my mustache.
You should. Brush stash.